not even likeness. If all we are is psychic instrument, then depth goes only to emotion and sharp intellect, intelligence at best. The belief is that the intellect's, quote, consciousness is who we are when we, quote, we reflect. We don't even know where that consciousness comes from. As for the mind, which is a vehicle, it can't be an object and a subject at the same time. Sometimes it is one, and sometimes it is the other. Yoga Sutras 4:19 and 20. Do you believe that you are an object when you listen to others, therefore believing you are taking in? Is there any consciousness or awareness of being conscious when you are listening to something outside your vehicle? Is your vehicle able to receive? The psychic instrument is believed to be the subject. There is no awareness of what is under that vehicle, or even an idea of the possibility that there is anything under it. The shrunken self puts energy into an idea in the head, saying, quote, "This is me. This is all I am." The idea, quote, "This is not who I am, and there is someone else who is truly me," never arises. Quote, "The best me" is an idea that is used by the vehicle and is identified with. It is not experienced, but thought. Everything takes place in the head, the limited self being used by the Matrika Shakti to keep consciousness in a shrunken and limited form called, quote, "me." There is so much more than the limited vocabulary of the shrunken self. But if the, quote, conscious, limited self lives in the head, then there is no chance of knowing that there is anything more. No chance to be the sun, but always remain the moon that is diluted by meager consciousness and letters that are identified as, quote, "me." Did Christianity express theologically the strong distinction between God and the identified individual? Did it safeguard against delusion and heresy by allowing the individual to only get to likeness and not ever dissolve in God? Or are they saying that the individual is, quote, "you"? you can only be likeness. And when you dissolve, there is not, quote, you, but only God. So your awareness is not, quote, you, and, quote, you can't be deluded to think that, quote, you can take ownership. People do not value beyond the mind because they do not believe, quote, in their minds that there is anything beyond, quote, them. When something beyond the mind is experienced, they take ownership so that they can deny what happened and maintain their sense of self because, quote, they need to be there, as their idea of awareness is, quote, them. Hence, Baba saying that you have to have a strong mind to get rid of the mind. Teaching versus knowing. Anyone can read a book and teach the topic. Not everyone knows the subject. The psychic instrument only takes in information. If you are identified with and committed to the psychic instrument, you will limit what you receive. Experience, when communicated, will not be recognized. True knowledge is passed through more than one vehicle. I pass on the experience of the love of God. But if you do not recognize that experience, then you cannot acknowledge anything more than what the intellect has taken in. The Guru transmits both experience and comprehension. When resting in God, all the options arise, and the best option arises from that. In AI, there is only one option based on limited data and sure reading of the data. So AI is a stupid and easy and erroneous replacement for God. Just as your mind is a stupid and easy and erroneous placement for who you truly are. The heart is where I wish to live, surrendered to God.